It's still the conversation this morning, and you know the segment is about Lagos and happenings around here. Today, we're back with another interesting subject, and this is about the ALARHOSPS. What is ALARHOSPS? I'm the only one that knows.
I bet some people don't know about
Joyce knows it, Abby.
Yes, I do.
Okay, we're focusing on a remarkable initiative that has continued to impact Lagos State positively. The Association of Lagos Retired Heads of Service and Permanent Secretaries, that is ALARHOSPS, is hosting its 2024 week, an event dedicated to celebrating its members and their contributions to governance while also giving back to the community. So joining us to have this discussion this morning is Otumba Nuruddin Ojora Adejinyo. He is the ALARHOSPS president. And again, ALARHOSPS is the Association of Lagos Retired Heads of Service and Permanent Secretaries. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Okay, let's begin this way. For those who do not understand, again, what ALARHOSPS stands for, I'd like you to briefly tell us about the association and, you know, the need for it, you know, for forming this association.
Thank you very, very much. Incidentally, ALARHOSPS is just a state branch. We have the national and we have in all the states. It's an association of retired head of service and permanent secretaries. For ALARHOSPS, that's for Lagos State.
Okay.
Our senior officers that retired before us, they've always been related among themselves. But they believe very strongly that there's need to have a formal structure.
Okay.
And about 10 of them gathered together and they started. Over the years, they incorporated the likes of us to join them. You must be there, you must be there. But you see, for us to have such, a structure in place, we needed government support, government approval.
I was going to say approval also.
We were doing it until Governor Ambode got there. Incidentally, he's a member too, you know, was a retired permanent secretary.
Okay.
At the same time, we had another of our senior officers who was head of service and later became SSG. So between the three of them, the same tenure, we had the approval. And before then, government had been supporting us, but when the woman, Ms. Daji, became head of service, she pushed it. And when she became SSG, she solidified and governor approved it. And we have been getting government support since then.
Since then.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's talk about the 2024 ALARHOSPS week. What are some of the major events that will come up? I would like you to highlight them.
Thank you very much. We are starting with this program now. It's supposed to be a press conference, but because of the mood of the country and our pockets,
We all understand. We all understand.
we
Yes.
also, we decided to scale it down.
Okay.
On a low-key.
Oh, lucky. Today we are starting this. Tomorrow is the novelty match
Okay.
between the male and the female members and our colleagues in the lower rung. That's,
Female retired.
Retired.
Will,
Yes,
will,
Play match.
will play football.
we'll be in the same team.
Please, where is it happening? I need to come and watch.
So what?
Vetland Secondary School.
Okay.
You have
Agege.
grandmas and
Agege.
grandpas running
Agege.
after the football.
Yes. In fact, the former Attorney General, Ms. Daly, I don't even know her. She's going to be the keeper.
Ah. He's about to go down.
We'll be meeting with our colleagues, the directors, retired directors,
Okay.
both male and female too. It's all members of the public are invited. It's going to be very interesting.
What time is it, sir?
From 4 o'clock
From 4 o'clock.
tomorrow.
Abimbola, we're
Yeah.
joining them. Okay.
Supporters Club.
Supporters
Even though
club.
this one is not part of our program, but it coincided. Our colleagues from the Southwest,
Okay.
they're having the meeting. Lagos is supposed to be, that's our branch, they're supposed to be hosting it. So it's within our week. So on Thursday, we'll be at Adiam Bureau to host them. The head of service will be declaring it open.
Okay.
On Friday, we'll be at the mosque for Thanksgiving at the for Jumat service. On Saturday, we have this walk for fitness. It's a very, in fact, that one seems to be the highlight because everybody wants to come. Everybody, most of us are old, including me too.
Yeah.
We are old.
We are all old.
We are old.
We are all old.
But everybody, they come. We're making a walk from JT Park to Alec Junction and walk back.
That's a
Then
long
after we sit down, we'll talk, we'll have refreshments, we'll
I was about
dance.
to ask, is there no item 7?
Then
You
after
just
some-
said
very good.
refreshment.
Then on Sunday, we go back to the same place for the next church, the church service.
Okay.
Then on Tuesday, that's usually the day when we'll target giving back. The last 11 years, we have had various projects and programs in each division. Now Lagos division is the one taking the piece. So we identified a school. They have toilets, but it's in bad state. They have water, it's not conducive. So we have renovated 18 toilets and give them water. So that's what we'll be doing on Tuesday. Aside from going to old people's home, we have had our members and members of the community to give us things to take there. We are going to buy food items and all that and all that. We'll take it to them. And that will be the final.
Everybody else want to-
Well, yes, I was going to ask. I know that this is a yearly event for ALARHOSPS, and this is the 2024 edition. Otumba, quickly take us through. I mean, this is the 11th year for ALARHOSPS, yearly week. In years past, what are some of the feedbacks that you've gotten, especially with that event where you give back to the community? I know during your 10th anniversary last year, it was also a big event. So if you'd like to give us, how has this impacted on those communities that you've chosen?
Sometime in the past, we went to Badagry. You remember Badagry has the first primary school building, aside from the historic
The
building.
story building.
So that primary school, we went there. We discovered that there are a lot of things that need to be done. Allows, with the little amount of money we have, we did it. We went to Ekpe last years or so. One of the schools, they have security issue. We contributed to what they needed to do to pop up the security. You know, Ekpe is in the Rwanda area. I remember about 2 or 3 years ago, there were these Ogbesu boys that went to one of our schools around there to kidnap some students and all that. So our way of saying we don't want this to happen again, we went there. When we were meeting the chief of staff, when I became president, we mentioned to him that one of the first things we did was to go to a school in Alausa here. He said, "Wow, that's my primary school." He was enthused. In fact, he told us when we want to do anything, we should call him. He will assist us because he's now in our side. How do you manage it? The little pension that you have. How do you get money to do all this? We said, aside from our intelligence, aside from the service that we render to the service when we were in the service, we believe very strongly we should give back. It might be little, but that's our way of giving back.
Okay.
Then every year, we have had summits. It's part of the mandate given to us by the state government that we must take a topic that is germane, that is robust, that will resonate with the people and the government. If they've been doing something that we think they are not doing so well, we can suggest ways of doing it better. This year, incidentally, our team was on food security. And you will agree with me since the president is on board. We have an issue concerning food. This rice is expensive. There's no pepper. There's no. So, this is what because whether you like it or not, we are still part of the society. If anybody is going to buy rice, we buy at 104. But I don't know how much it is now. So,
100,000.
so we believe if you gather people together to give idea of what to do to bring all these things down. This year's team resonates with the people, the government, and up to now, since that time, everybody's still talking about it. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned, part of what I want to ask you, which is about the advisory role the association plays with the Lagos State government. I'd like you to share more of your advisory roles that you have played in influencing some of the Lagos State government policies.
Aside from making some of us road marshals, we usually, when we go out, I can see an infraction by last month, for instance, on park. I might pretend I'm taking photograph. You, why did you stop him? Of course, I won't report him because I don't want them to sack him now. But we see that I've done my what did he do? But governor said, don't take their key from them. Don't struggle the steering with them. Suppose it's an armed robber and he shoots you. Aside from that, officially from our body, we write government. This is what we have seen. This is what we think should be done. And by the grace of God, the government has been doing it. Look at the usual environment. We mentioned it about 2 or 3 years ago, the menace of plastics in our gutters and waterways. And last year, the government had, adopted one of our recommendations that, these plastics that you use everywhere should stop. The styrofoam
and single-use
government
plastics.
said it. And the federal government has taken it up now. It's going to be banned all over Nigeria. And Lagos has even said pure water sachet will no more be used. It's part of what we suggest to government, and government is doing it. Because in our membership, we have reservoir of people, even though old, but it's really professionals, unlike those of us that admin. Whatever it is they have is always there. It never, give one leg. It's always, so they're always, on top of it, and they're still studying. So they have things to give back, and they will do it through the nice channels. Some of us, when we see something, we'll go to the ministries, we'll speak with the peers, this is what we saw yesterday, or this is what we had, what are you doing about it? I'll take it back to the public class. No. What you have written is not like that. This is what it is. And it's been helpful.
Okay. I like that you highlighted your advisory roles. You're giving back to the society. But again, I want us to look at some of the challenges that your association is experiencing towards achieving its goal.
We see ourselves as a think tank. That's what government called us. But whether we like it or not, we cannot be tenants all our life. So government have been helping us. We are in one government premise or the other. But the major challenge we have now is we need our own building. So we have asked the government, and they're looking at it to give us a land. Ogun State, as I don't want to call them small because they might say I'm diminishing them, but they're smaller than Lagos State anyway.
Thank you.
The government, I might be no. The Ogun State government is building for that branch.
Okay.
And I'm sure when our governor, when he's ready, he will do it for us.
I know he will.
Well, so when we have our building, 2-3 things will happen to us. Because that building, the way we plan it, is such a way that it will have an aspect, a part of it that will be revenue generating. So from it, we have more fund to do more things. Our dependence on government will reduce. We are looking at ourselves tomorrow, 10 years, 20 years, like Chatham House. It might not be now, but it could be now. When you put eggs together, they're giving advice, and you see that those advice are useful, because you'll also go to them. But we cannot do all this if we are in a rented apartment. The other challenge is, you see, our members, it's like, onions, several layers of old people. Ideas differ. Those of us now that are about 10 years old in the association, we have about 2-3 years old members. Certainly, their way of thinking will be different from ours. And those of our members, our senior members that are 15 years, 20 years before us, our ideas will be different from them. So we have this challenge of making sure we merge together, sit down together, and reduce as much as possible conflicts.
Okay, this brings me to the next question. How does the association, now engage the youth in the state, knowing full well that they're about 60% of the population?
The youth as in the service or?
Generally.
Generally.
Yes.
Well, aside from our summit,
Okay.
and when they see us on the streets dancing, and they, who are these people? But in the service, we make sure every year we have engagements with the officers in the service. We call it dialogue. Every strata level, we can group them
From which
level
level?
8,
Okay.
level 8 to 10, level 12 to 16, level 17. We have dialogue with them. What we have seen from outside now, because we're now outside. What we see, the way the service is going, why are you doing it like this? Why were they this the way we're doing it? And that helps because
But what if the way you were doing it doesn't match today's realities?
yeah, I understand that. We tell them the way we are doing it.
Okay.
If what they are doing, we see that is working,
Okay.
we commend them.
Okay.
If it's not working,
You advise.
we'll tell them, we're there, this is what. Let me give you an example. When I was at the Civil Service Commission, for instance, if you notice my finger is bent because I had to sign 9 letters for each officer for their promotion, for upgrading. So what did I do? I went to see the then permanent secretary, incidentalist, I remember now, Mrs. Alaja Brown. I said, Madam, our currency, somebody signs it. Do they sign every copy?
Note.
The question was like, look at this illiterate man. Incidentally, the deputy governor was the commissioner there.
Oh, okay.
So Mr. Alaja Brown took me to him and said, but that's my innocent mind. That's because I believe there must be a technology
Yeah.
that we just sign 1 letter and they said, don't worry, we'll get it for you. They call letter management. And alas, they brought it and all I did was just sign 1 copy. The only danger is insecurity.
I was going
It's
to
dangerous.
say, what about?
So I was advised, look, get somebody that you know you can trust with your signature. Once you sign that one, and you don't believe it, that year's promotion came out much earlier. Technology, before then, you remember, when you have promotion, you have to write to get the financial benefit of your promotion. But with that technology, we just have 1 memo sent to the governor with all the soft copy of everybody that is qualified. The governor will approve it, just 1 signature. That copy will not be sent to STU. Automatically, everybody is uploaded. That copy is sent to agencies in each of the officers. They're still doing it because it's still relevant. But there could be some other things. Like, for instance, another thing is, at that time, I discovered that so many officers were not confirmed. Not because of the officers' problem, because the commission was overburdened with so much. We now suggested, look, members of the commission, don't let us do it that way again. Anybody that has spent 2 years in the service, and the agency have sent their letters of confirmation to the commission, deem them as being confirmed. So, Okpakon. So everybody that has spent 2 years, as soon as the letter gets to the commission, that year, the letter is out. They're still doing it because it's still relevant to everybody. But there could be something that we don't know. Like, for instance, now, they stop promotion. Up to now, in my head, I still wonder, if you are not doing promotion exam for people, they said they are doing,
Oral interview.
it's not Koyemi.
It's not enough.
I don't know. I can't. Yeah, they like it. Koyemi, so, because by then you are, we still don't know why. But then, that's...
Why do you think the written one was also effective at that time?
There are 2, 3 things to written exams. You are very brilliant, and exam fatigue might catch you. You not write well. Then you have the next level, which is the interview. And if you have exam fatigue, we have talk fatigue.
Some people do
You
have
can
it.
have, yes.
Some people
fright.
do.
Yes.
Some people have that fright once
Yes.
they're in front of
You
other
see,
people.
as officers growing up in the service, aside from having this knowledge, aside from being able to write very well, you must have guts. Because you call upon to represent the state in so many ways. Not necessarily the state, even your agency. One of our head of service, Mr. Balogun, did something sometimes. If I was, maybe level 16 or 17 then. He said we are going to be having a interactive session, but not anchored by senior officers. He used only level 10 and level 14 officers to anchor it, to present paper to between level 10 and 14. You not believe it, 2 or 3 of those young officers then that I met, I was on level 16 or 17. Their name was in my head until when I became PS. I looked for them and I asked them to come and work for me. And I never met them before. So he was able to expose them to what they were expected to do when they grow up in the service. And it helped. But about 2 or 3 of them are now permanent secretaries. They retired as permanent secretaries, some of them are even in Abuja, helping out. So whether you like it or not, it has. But the way they're doing it now, I'm not complaining about it. They just take all of you to one school, one hour, 2 hours lecture, then they write exam the next day, and you are passed, and they do interview, and you are promoted. When you look at it now, the number of passes, the number of promotion you have is larger than that time.
Is it not supposed to?
No, because the bottlenecks have been cleared.
We should not enjoy our promotion.
Are you not supposed to be tested?
And they still test us in a way.
That's why now you have, with due respect to whoever is who made that decision, you have more people applying to be permanent secretary, and they don't pass.
Okay.
Because being a permanent secretary now is not being it's taken outside the box.
What does it take to be a permanent secretary? Because many of us are aspiring. Many of us are aspiring.
In the service, there are a lot of people that are seeing you without you knowing they are looking at you, including your staff. Let me give you one example. There's one of our officers that I believe very strongly should have been permanent secretary. So I talked to the boss, push your money. I met a lady that served with me. She was a copper when I was in one of the ministry. Where do you work now? She mentioned our office. I said, oh, Lagbaja is in your office. Why? She was like, wait, or 9. Kí ló dé tí wọ́n ti fún ní permanent secretary? Wọ́n lè ever fún nítorí wẹ̀ dára.
That is human factor.
That's it, whether you like it or not.
That is human.
And I called her. I called the lady that I said, Lagbaja, ṣé ọ̀pẹ̀ láwọn staff ẹ̀? Oh no, mo ní nǹkan bá wà lọ sọ gba ẹ̀ o. Ó dẹ̀ máa ń mọ ẹ̀ ẹsẹ̀ wọn gùn. O mọ ibi tó ti lè sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. She went back to the office, changed her attitude.
Our agenda, Abimbola.
Your agenda.
Our agenda.
That particular lady that I asked called me. Ọ̀gá Ìkẹ́ni, ẹ ti lọ ṣe kẹ́mi Lágbájá. Mo ní kí ló dé? Ṣé o ní mo dárúkọ ẹ ní? Mi deny. Oh no, o ti wùwà dáadáa fún wa lówó. You do not believe it when the next list came out.
Her name was there.
Whether you like it or not, the human element is part of it. I will use the example again of Civil Service Commission, pardon me, because I spent a lot of years there. When I got there, people don't want to work there because they consider the place as Siberia. And it is Siberia. Because I worked in budget before, I went to see them in budget. I said, look, I can't even sit on my seat because he don't want me. Jokingly. It's not, it cannot be that bad. Okay. But the commissioner said, go ahead, Jola is a troublesome man. Go and look at it. They came to the ministry, the commission, and they gave us money. We did the whole building. Running costs, level 1 to 12, we're not getting anything. I'm not in support of that. No matter how much, it's not the money you are giving them that matters to them. It's the fact that I want to enjoy pardon that language. So we look for money. I said, okay, but only December, the money finished. The accountant told me, I said, okay, don't worry. I reduced it. I went to the chairman and the commission members. They agreed. They reduced it. The directors before tell the judge don't for slash. I'm sorry, that's what I did. So I did pay I want to official commission tell they now we're now requesting to come back. So wherever they go, they will say bàtọ́ jọra débẹ̀ làwọn ṣe àwọn ọ̀gá wa wọ́n máa gbọ́ wọ́n á kọ́ sínú ẹ̀ pé okay ọ̀jọ̀ra yẹn ó lè manage bẹ́ẹ̀ dáadáa that's just an example and so many places like that when you look at professional agencies the same thing pẹ̀lú àwọn ọ̀gá wọn pẹ̀lú àwọn tó wà lábẹ́ wọ́n á ní ó ṣe dáadáa kò ṣe dáadáa àwọn level 10 level 12 ló ń rán lọ síta àwọn náà bá wá contractor sọ̀rọ̀ contractor ló ń bá governor sọ̀rọ̀ yeah it's part of it governor dey only appointment as foreign secretary is his I mean is his duty even though he has given it to them at PSO and everywhere so kò tó pé wọ́n ní Mrs. Ojo yẹn kò dáa kí ló máa ń ṣe tí ó burú ni ó máa mú late comers ṣé kò yẹ kó mú late comers ni so aside from being upright on your assignment being very good and making sure Lagos State is like a country.
It is a country.
It is a country. So whatever it is that we are doing in Lagos State, whatever it is that we are doing, we must compete, we must see ourselves competing with other country. So as an officer, level 16, 15, 16, 17, you must always think outside the box. You must know what's happening in the United Nations, the economic situation of the world, and to affect Lagos State. Because everybody's coming. And Lagos is Lamawa. So if you are level 15, you are in budget or you are in PSO, or you say because you are an engineer, you don't know the economic situation of the world as it could affect revenue generation or tax assessment. We are doing yourself. That's why today now you have so many. All pass. Of course, like I said, the governor only appointed as foreign secretary. But me, with the little experience I have, I want to pass my power pass now. I want to fail my because I want to fail. I don't want to so that's it.
Okay.
Quite insightful this morning.
I mean, so anytime you have him sitting here, you know that he's a wealth of experience. But before we allow you to go, you did say earlier that, of course, there's also a federal arm of this body. Is there also a good rapport with that arm? Because I know that though you're retired, but you're still very passionate about the civil service. And so is there a rapport? Do you also talk on how to offer better advice as to moving the civil service better or even at par with the federal civil service?
Are you saying Lagos State Service?
No. You said there's also a federal body. This is the state arm. ALARHOSPS is the state arm. So there's also a federal arm. Is there, what's the relationship in terms of advice that you also get so that you can...
You know the federal officers?
They're always very... they're always intimidated by Lagos State.
No, they believe they are superior.
They feel superior.
Well, it's difficult. I don't know the reason. I left. I was in external affairs before I joined the local government and the state. I left at level 9 or so, or 10. So I wouldn't know why they feel they're superior. But you see, the way the service is, if you are living here to go to the federal on level 12, when you get to federal, they'll take you down to level 10. Why? I don't know. If you are at the federal on level 13, when you are coming to Lagos State, you will say you are entitled to level 14. Why? My ticket is always, or the local government, especially, I fought them at the state when I was local government. Look, you cannot tell me, we left Ife 1980 together. We happen to be at the state, we are level 12 and level 12. What makes you superior than me? But that, I think it's human thing, it's one side. So even now, except the state branches, we are related very, very well. The federal branch of it, they look down on us. I would say, hey, you know that, Joe. But whether you like it or not, with what we know about the federal side, with due respect to whoever, the states are doing, at Lagos State, you do much, much better than federal service. In terms of everything. Yeah, everything that we do in Lagos is what they copy there. Everything that we do is what they, like I just told you now, the styrofoam. Styrofoam or whatever.
Styrofoam.
It's after Lagos State has said, don't do it again, they're not thinking of doing it. When you look at the tax, look at pension. When Ashwaju was the governor here, that when the pension reform that Obasanjo eventually adopted was already in Lagos. So it means we are maybe, probably because, I agree with you, Lagos State is a country of its own. We have to do our thing. And Omotio Yadiwa.
That's why we continue.
We have to make sure, yes,
special status.
Well, like you are.
Yes.
So we must make sure that whatever it is we are doing is better and to give us a leadway. That's why I wouldn't say we don't need federal grants. We have it, it's good. But we can survive without it. So, and it impacts on the civil service. That's the engine room of the administration.
Yeah.
The political class is there, yes. But every government they will acknowledge it, that the civil service is the engine room of the place. They bring in their own ideas too from outside, and they complement what we have. But you see, look at the engine oil. When you put it in your car all the time, that's what this public service does. And as a body, we try to maintain that status too. Within our colleagues from the Southwest, they have a lot of ideas. We have a lot of ideas. We're talking of, it's very importantly, we're settling on the issue of security. But the next issue is industrialization and food. Kilo shele is our industries to one in the Western Union. We are looking at Kilo shele. We want to make, and Lagos State can leverage on it. Lagos State is the hub. I want to the Elisha, I want to the Jesha, I want to the Ondo, Ikene, the rubber plantation. So let's collaborate, and that's what we're doing.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much, sir.
Interesting conversation
Can
today.
you, just before we go, just in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, yes. I'd like you to, leave a word of advice to public servants in Lagos State, civil servants, let me use that word, civil servants in Lagos State, especially those young ones who are just joining us.
Thank you very much. You see, aside from everybody wants to japa, the few ones that have decided to come to the service, they are ready to be in the service. It's now up to those of us that they are seniors to encourage them. How do you encourage them? Somebody comes, I was a clerk. When you get to the service, the first place they will take you to is the file room. They will teach you how to open a file, how to page it, what page should follow each other. Even as a graduate, level 8, that's the first place you go. Are you doing it now? Because if you don't do it, because the boy is your cousin, you not take him to lands because there's money there. You post him to LRS because there's money there. He becomes level 10, they take him away and bring him back to Civil Service Commission. He will not be able to cope with those level 8 officers that were coming up. And colleagues, his colleagues, I can't go out of place because Kunimo. I'm talking about him from the beginning, well, money. So my own take is, just senior officers. You must teach them. To come when to come. But whether you like it in the service, there are certain things that you must get before you get level 10. If you don't get it, you're not there. Because what you should know, you don't know it. You don't know how to write a memo. You don't know memo that goes to ESCO. What color is that paper? At level 12, you must know it. Even though I was not exposed to writing any memo to ESCO until I got to level 15. But because it's important for me to know, local government more, because about local government, about officers here, I'll try in the cabinet office. Here's a paper here, kill a yellow lele now, kill a fish, ESCO memo. Me need like to call until bad Debbie. Or level 15 or 16. People to one here. To go out there surround me. Show you will more if people are salano. Yellow paper, loving call. I be green paper, loving call. Show up with governor to red. What's the reason?
My producer is here. He has come into the studio to tell us that we have to go.
We really need to go.
Thank you very much, sir. Otumba Nuruddin Ojora Adejiyon. He is the ALARHOSPS president. ALARHOSPS, again, I repeat, is the Association of Lagos State
States.
Lagos State
Heads
retired
of service.
heads
Retired
of,
heads of
retired
service.
heads of service
and
and
permanent
permanent secretary. Thank you very much. And here's come to talk about the 2024 ALARHOSPS Week and other civil service affairs. Thank you very much.
And every tell the governor,
Yes, sir.
we know he's doing it, he should give us a land.
Okay, you do
The listening governor.
Wait. We've got the short break.
For
When we come
Allah's
back-
house.
Okay. He has heard you. He has heard you.
Your Excellency, Mr. Governor.
All right.
The conversation continues after this short break.
Let the conversation continue.